guess it's been a little while since we had a close look at the old R160 International. So maybe today it's a little bit dirty, sitting in the shed all the time and collecting dust, and then parked outside with just enough rain to make a worse mess than ever. But I got this truck at a farm auction back in 2002. It's had some pretty nice body work done on it. You can see they painted it a shade of yellow that's not quite the same as the original. I think International called that, oh I forget, Palomino Gold or something. We've got the remains of the original build sheet in here, which is interesting. Mentions that it had the SD240 engine, which as you'll see later under the hood, it doesn't have anymore. 10-ply all traction tires. Too bad the mice got the worst or the best part of this. Oh, there's the colors down there. No, most of it is gone. Anyway, non-original seats, probably out of a van or something. They're nice and comfortable, and no doubt far better condition than the old ones. They usually end up chewed by mice. Yeah, we went with the non-original boat tank. I actually had the original steel tank off this truck several times trying to clean it up. Flushed it out, shook it up with gravel and pressure washing and whatnot. Still, you wouldn't go long, and it would plug up a gas filter. So I figured for most of the work I got to do, a 6-gallon tank is going to be adequate. So that's what I'm doing. This is your hoist or your PTO control. PTO runs off the side of the transmission, most will know. That in turn runs this drive shaft, which goes way up to a hydraulic pump. Kind of a unique design in that it's mounted right on the bottom of the big hydraulic cylinder that raises the box. Seems to work well. It's got a few minor leaks in there, but it'll lift a load of gravel with no problem. This, I believe, is a Daybrook hoist. Somewhere on here there's a name. Yeah, Daybrook. As you can see, it's been severely overloaded or abused at some point in the past. The frame is literally bowed up from I don't know what. There's the name on here. Elcombe Engineering Limited, Windsor, Ontario, made in Canada, naturally, because it's a Canadian-built International. What do we got on the back here? 8 1/4 20 rubber, and that looks almost cracked up enough to be original rubber. Hasn't blown out yet, but nice gravel box. It had been converted to wooden extensions on the side here, so it was used as a grain hauler on the farm. As for mileage, I don't even know, but it's saying 55,749.9. It's been converted to 12-volt system, so the original gauges don't work. So we got a set of aftermarket gauges in here. Shows the oil pressure, temperature. I added a cigarette lighter accessory to plug in a cell phone charger. Don't ask me what this little light is stuck on here for, because I don't know. It has the add-on signal lights, the old common signal stat system, but as you can see, the wiring is has seen better days. and most of the lighting is gone. It does have headlights, and it does have an interior light, which is kind of neat. Fully functional ashtray. Well, I can't open that, but I know the insides are gone. Mice love to chew that stuff. I don't know how well this will show up, but it's got all your stats on it. Engine horsepower. It's an SD240 producing 93 horsepower at 3,400 RPM, and it's got a gross vehicle weight rating of 16,000 pounds. And it's an R162. Wheelbase, 172 inches. Let's see if we can get that hood open. I can tell you I won't be doing it with one hand. IH stands for It's Heavy. So here's your okay, hood's open. Parking brake off. This truck does have working brakes, surprisingly enough. I have a plug in the line. The front cylinders were leaking a little, and temporarily I figured plug the line and just use the rear brakes. But yeah, it takes about 2 pumps and you got good pressure. So I got rear wheel brakes, which is not bad. It's adequate, not legal, but then this truck doesn't see any serious road driving anyway, so. Throttle setting. Works good if you want to set it up for a fast idle. Push in. And of course the carburetor's not working right, so it dies, it won't idle, but you get the idea how it's supposed to work. One thing I really liked about the R series, they had the red IH on the dials. When they changed up to the S series in '56, they did away with that, which I figured was a step backwards. Otherwise, they're basically the same. You've seen it on the old green water truck. They got the same dials, interchangeable, but R series had it a little fancier. And it's a genuine international key. I don't know if this will show in this light or not, but you can see there's an extra panel of steel riveted to the outside of the frame. I think they used to call that fish plating. It goes pretty much from the front axle all the way to the rear. Rivets. So I'm guessing it's a factory job, but you never know. I have no idea why they put this block of wood in here. The truck came that way, so I left it in there. My guess is it doesn't let the cylinder collapse all the way, and that allows you to get a little extra oil in the reservoir, because the cylinder is actually the reservoir on this one. It's a little different. Oh yeah, nice and oily. So if I did try to overfill it one time, and as I lowered the cylinder, it spewed oil out of I forget where. Yeah, out of the breather, I guess. I'm not sure if that's a factory buckle in the frame or not. Either that or it's been severely overloaded and somebody twisted the frame. That never happens on a farm truck. Another one of those 60-plus-year-old Goodyear. Yeah, it's had a little paint on there. I think I took it apart to put a new gasket on the end of the axle here, and while it was off, I figured it needed paint. But yeah, these have some severe weather checks in them. 10 plies, but I guess in places they're down to about half of that. Yeah, Goodyear made a good tire back in the 50s. Two-wheel brakes work real good on an empty truck. Well, I should have cleaned up the windows for this little drive, but I didn't. Anyway, I think I forgot to mention, transmission in here is your basic 4 on the floor. 1 up, 2 down, over and up is 3, and straight back down is 4. Reverse is all the way to the right and up. Works well. I think the second gear synchronizer is getting pretty weak from the feel of it shifting. Biggest problem is it's got a bad clutch. It tends to really shudder and shake when you go to take off, and at times it drags. Sometimes when you push it in and try to get in gear, it still grinds a little, so the clutch is not fully disengaging. Now, it could be a misalignment problem due to the different engine installation, or it could just be a sticky spline on the clutch shaft. Anyway, we're going to take it for a little run down the driveway. Not sure how well that worked. Camera was flopping around, and I noticed it was running a little different on the way in. I'm a little suspicious, because last week when I started it up initially, it was idling real good, and when I opened the hood, gas was pouring out of the carburetor. The float valve was stuck open and it was flooding itself No, it's dry. It's a little unnerving to see gas pouring down over the hot exhaust manifold, which it was. So I had to pull the float body cover and clean it up a little, and then it was good. I don't know what was going on here. Anyway, I think I covered most of the basics. Hopefully I didn't miss too much. The camera wasn't running at one point there when I thought it was, so I guess we'll run this through editing and see what I got. Anyway, hope you liked it. If you're interested in old Internationals, this is the movie to watch. Truck needs a clean up. Give it a like. Stay tuned for more.